What do you say? Let's go do a review. Let's go do the review of the car. Yeah, let's go do a quick review of the car. You just sit there and be pretty. We'll be back. All right. Welcome back to the garage. We made it back. Well, today we are going to, this is going to be a quick and easy video. We're just going to review the car. This one. So, first of all, 11 days, almost 6,000 miles. You can see it's still dirty. I have not washed it. I was gonna do it today, but I needed to just have a day of chilling, recharging my own batteries. It really kind of sunk in today how tired I was. You can see all the bugs on the front, bugs on the hood, bugs all over the mirrors. Still got some on the windshield, on the roof. We've got some new scratches. But all of that is going to come out. We're going to wash the car. We'll polish the car again. Might not have to polish it too much, but we'll see. Let's do step one, which is wash it first. You can see all the brake dust that's still accumulated on here. It was worse, but I had been washing this daily. Well, I washed it, especially after I went to the Bonneville salt flats. I had to wash it because of stuff like that. See how I still have salt inside there? Inside the well, there's still salt in there. And I noticed yesterday, after I came home, I opened back here, and you can't see it with the camera, even when I zoom in, but you can see it with your naked eye. If you follow that angle down to where the control arm is down here, on top of the control arm, there's salt, and you can still see some salt right here. This is some salt from the Bonneville salt flats. So we need to get all that off before it corrodes the car. So, quick view of it. The car was great, super reliable, no issues whatsoever. My only issue I had is it wasn't as comfortable as the Audi, which I knew that. But, I mean, come on. Porsche 911, Audi Q7. Of course the Audi Q7 is going to be a lot more plush and luxurious than the Porsche 911. But surprisingly, not by much. Not by much. I will say, let me get my hand all the way here. I will say that the seats inside this Porsche 911 are super, super, super comfortable. Very comfortable. Surprisingly, like I never had body fatigue, body aches, nothing. Circulation was fine. Very, very comfortable seats in here. The seats in the Q7, of course, they're more plush. They're bigger, they're thicker, they're more padding. But no complaints with the seats. With the interior, reliability, top notch. I will take this car anywhere in the world. I will take it. I'll throw my stuff in there and go do a road trip tomorrow. Car's super ultra reliable. Only one thing, I gotta go get an oil change before we go though. I am a little bit over the oil change limit. I was supposed to change it like 1,000 miles ago, but it's okay because it was highway miles. It wasn't stop and go traffic. I wasn't on a racetrack. It's fine. It's not, I'm sure it's not hurt. One thing that I did not like, and I will be changing, is my H&R springs. I don't know if you can pick it up here, but you see the gap? When I left, the shocks in the front were brand new. So the gap here was slightly larger. The gap here now has come down some. And the gap in the rear, the same. The gap in the rear was about where the front is now, and it's even lower now in the rear. I don't think that the problem is the shocks. I think the problem is the H&R springs. I say that because if I can zoom in here, maybe I can see a gap. It might be too small. You can't see it. But, oh, there's more salt. That's wonderful. No, you can't see. The gap is just too small. So right on top of that, where the coil sits, and the two lower coils on the H&R springs sit on top of each other. It's something I've never liked. I think H&R says these springs will fit all trims of the 997. I don't think that's accurate. I think physically, does it fit? Yes, it fits perfect. I mean, it bolts right in. But this is a 997.2 Carrera 4S. So it's the all-wheel drive version. It has PASM, the Porsche Active Stability Management, so it has magnetic ride. So it sits 10 millimeters lower than a non-PASM car. I think that 10 millimeter is what makes the difference between the spring sitting correctly and the springs hitting each other. And when I go over sharp bumps or I go over a rough road, you can feel that these springs are not quite right. So one thing we're going to do, we're going to reinstall the OEM springs. That's later this week. This is not today. This is just not a DIY. This is just a quick review. On most highways, on most roads, very compliant, very comfortable. On really rough roads, you felt most of the bumps. On bad highways, the poor car took a beating. I mean, we hit some stuff where I felt like the strut was going to go through the freaking hood of the car, through the fender, up into the windshield. It was some of the infrastructure in the United States has gotten really bad, and the poor car took a beating. That being said, nothing broke. Nothing broke. I think I do have a bad tire. I think I was in North Dakota, and speed limits are like 80 or 85, and so we're cruising around, probably around 90, and I hit some uneven sections of highway, and I mean, when I say I hit them, we hit them hard. Like, you felt it in your brain. And so I think one of my tires, or maybe more than one, has got a broken cord or is bad because it has has a very tiny, subtle vibration. And you can feel it. I thought it might be a wheel, but I looked at some of my video of the content, and the wheels look fine. And in Minneapolis, I got it rebalanced. And when I went to get it rebalanced, I said, yeah, the only one wheel was a little bit off. All the rest were fine. Which maybe that one wheel that was a little off is probably the one that might have a broken cord inside the carcass, and thus the little vibration. Similar thing happened to me last year's trip. I had the Continentals on the OEM tires, and the Continental tires, when I came back, actually that happened for a different reason, but the Continental tires, one of the tires got overheated. Still recording? Yeah, okay. One of the tires got overheated, and because it got overheated, it got a little deformed. And so when I got back, I had to do a road force balance, which is where they take the tire and rotate it on the rim to give you the lowest possible number of resistance force, I guess is what it's for. And you'll stop the vibration, you'll be able to balance your wheel. And it made a difference. I asked them to do the same thing in Minneapolis, and they said they didn't need to do that because the wheels were good. And they are. Most of the time, it was good. It was only on a super silky smooth road. I got switch hands there. Super silky smooth road where you would feel it. If you got on a really smooth section of road, you could hear that subtle little drrrr, just real subtle, and you could barely feel it, but it's there. Any other time, you can't even feel it, you don't even notice. So I think that's just a tire, though. I don't think there's nothing wrong with the car. But we're going to, this week, we're going to clean it. We're going to clean out all the salt that's inside the wheel wells. We're going to clean all of these bugs off. We're going to clean the interior, get all this brake dust off. We are also, I'm going to put it up on the jacks and get it up in the air. We're going to pull off all the belly pans from underneath, because if salt got inside of this part, it probably got in the scoops in the bottom of the belly pan and is sitting up, just laying inside there. I can physically see through the back of the engine where it's laying on top of the control arms. And we want to get all that stuff off because it's corrosive as hell. Now, these cars do have a corrosion inhibiting bath before they paint them, and it should still be good as long as it hasn't been chipped off. But you still want to get that stuff off because any nut, bolt, control arm ends, those kind of things will still corrode. So we want to get all that crap off, and we will. What else do I want to tell you? The trip was fun. It was a little bit different this year. The atmosphere was a little different. I'll talk about all that in a different video. In a different video, I'll tell you, it took me a couple days to get to the East Coast, and actually I stopped in Minneapolis. I'll give you the Cliff Note version right now. So, a couple days to get to Minneapolis. Once I got to Minneapolis, we went to St. Louis. Spent the night outside, actually just past St. Louis, spent the night there. Oh, before St. Louis. No, before St. Louis. Right before St. Louis, we spent the night there, then we got to Bryson City the next day. And then did Tail of the Dragon the day we got there. Then I went on 441 to Gatlinburg with the guys. And then from there I departed for my own reasons. And I'll talk about all that and more content. I have content of drone content. I've got some more videos. And so we'll put all that into another video, and we'll talk about that all at once. I'm not going to talk about that right now. But we made it home safe. We had a good trip. We saw lots of things, especially on the way back. I made an effort to take extra time to stop in places and go exploring, not just drive, especially because I was with my dogs and they needed a break as well. So it was a great road trip. Love seeing the United States of America. Really wish we had Autobahns here, because some of the spaces between places are so vast. It takes you can drive for 12, 14, 16, 18 hours straight, and there's no city or town between it. Those sections of road need to be Autobahn. We'll talk about all that stuff later. But for today, I just want to say 11 days, 6,000 miles, super reliable, great trip. Had fun, had a blast. Don't think I'm going to do it again. And I'll tell you the reasons why in the next video. Catch you later.